Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder.
What's up, everybody? Ryan, Torsion Talk podcast. What is going on? Well, as always, I'll start with a few announcements. I know you guys are probably tired of the announcements. It's a new thing we're doing. Just keep you guys posted because I'm tired of hearing people say, well, wish I knew about it, bro. So here we are. Such media, at this point in time, would have already had our 2024 planning. Although I'm recording it prior to it, so I can't really give you an update. I told you on the last podcast that we were going to be doing it, but I happen to be recording this literally like 12 hours after I recorded the last one. So you're out of luck on the update for that, but I will give it to you next time. We have 2 more sales trainings scheduled, February 1st and 2nd and March 21st and 22nd here in Atlanta. Again, as I mentioned on the last podcast, Sebastian and I are trying to work something out for me to fly out to Arizona and do a sales training out there. If you're interested, hit me up on Facebook or text if you got my number, and let's chat about it. Oh, guys, you do not want to miss this. Totally free. I give away a lot of free content on here and social media, but I'm going to be doing monthly webinars. This one is on creating and managing your sales pipeline. This is going to be one of the best values you're going to have all year, and I'll put that up against anything. December 22nd. So you should be winding down for Christmas. I figured you'll probably be doing some last minute shopping or whatever. Take 45 minutes out of your day, because I promise you this is going to be a game changer. If you're not already a pipeline master, this is going to help you understand how to utilize a pipeline. This will help you with follow-up in your company, your closing ratio, everything. You'll be able to do projections off of this. Strongly recommend you attend this. We will not be recording it and shooting it out to you. This is live only, so make sure you check it out. How do you register? You go to garagedoorU.com website, and there's going to be a red button on there that says Pipeline Webinar, Sales Pipeline Webinar, I believe. So make sure you check that out. Speaking of GDU, we got GDU Summit. Registration's live. It's in April, right before Expo. So 21st and 22nd of April in Las Vegas. We have some incredible things going on. Day 1's going to be me talking about my leadership journey and some things I've learned along the way. We talked a little bit about some of those things last week, but I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. I'm preparing already, which is very unusual for me, but I'm so freaking excited about leadership and culture that I'm going to be sharing everything I've got on it in April. We also brought in Steve Sims. If you haven't heard Steve Sims, you're going to love him. He talks a lot about a lot of different things, but he's a no nonsense type of guy. And he's going to be talking about leadership, communication, and connections. As day 1, we're going to go for dinner that night at the Strat. What is the restaurant called? It's a 360-degree view of Las Vegas. I think it rotates. And if you're bold, and I'm sure some of you guys are, you're going to get to jump off of it. It's the tallest building in Vegas. Jen says she's going to jump, so we can't let her be the only one. By the way, I'll introduce you to Jen here in a second. And then the second day, we're going to pile in a bus and drive a few miles down the road to a place called Zappos. And for those of you guys who aren't familiar with Zappos, I did a tour of Zappos when I worked at a software company because I was trying to learn more about culture and how to create a better culture. Top of the World. Thank you, Tamara. The restaurant's called Top of the World. And there's like rides and stuff on it too. It's freaking crazy. If you love heights, or if you don't love heights and you want to get over them, this is going to be a good place to do that at. If you want to jump off the top or just ride one of the scary rides at the top. So Jen's so excited, by the way. I can see it in her face. So GDU second day's going to be a tour of Zappos. We're going to be toured by the head of culture. He's amazing. His name's Rio. And he started as a barista there and moved his way up and has been there for quite some time. He's amazing, understands the idea of culture and customer service. And I think they're very similar, and they are extreme about it. And I want to stretch you guys, and this is the best way for me to do it. After that, Rio's going to be doing a whole presentation, keynote, and the theater that they have there will be eating there as well. Room, food, everything's included. Breakfast and lunch for the standard, and then the all in get dinner as well as the entertainment at night. And then we're going to dig this, where we're going to all get in some heavy equipment, move some things around, and have little competitions where we learn how to use excavators and whatever. It's going to be fun. So put on your big boy pants. Let's go to the top of the world and then go dig underground. Two extremes, I feel like. Anyway, so I'm still seeking 5 companies at this point because I haven't released the last podcast. Looking for 5 companies who want to join GDU or have questions about GDU who are in the 3 million or up range. We are wanting to grow that group. We need some brilliant minds to come in and challenge our way of thinking. So if you're a 3 million or above in annual revenue, hit me up. I want to chat with you. Just tell you a little bit about the group and how it could benefit you and what we're looking for. Even if you don't want to join, but just curious, let's chat. With that being said, today is a very special day. All of you guys know that Tamara has kind of makes the podcast better and has been with me for quite some time. Some of you may remember her all the way back to right after she started at Virtual Door Dealer Conference, although she was behind the scenes for most of that. And this is her last podcast.
It is my last podcast.
So, Tamara, tell us what you're going to do with your life.
I am going to be joining my husband in our family business. So he runs a company out at the ranch, and they're struggling right now with operations. So I'm going to be stepping into the role of vice president of operations at that company and cleaning it up. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. It's a big job. It's a little bit scary.
But it's scary for him. He's got to have you tell him what to do at home and at work now.
Well,
feels a bit overwhelming.
Well, he does his own thing a lot. Like, he's very independent as well, but he's pulling like 6 18-hour days a week right now because he's handling the production and the administration. So we just need to spread the work around a little bit. He needs some help with that burden.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And your time here has been well served.
Yeah, this has been the most fulfilling job I've ever had. I love it. And I love everyone that I've met through this job. Lifelong friendships for sure. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't super sad about leaving. I'm excited and sad. It's a lot of mixed emotions. Yeah. So yeah.
Excited.
That's what I am.
You're excited. It's okay. I feel the same way. Like, if you genuinely care about your people, you want the best for them. regardless of the outcome, whether they work for you or someone else. It
Yeah.
always hurts a little bit when you lose someone who you work side by side with for so long. But like like the minute you told me what you were doing, I just had this piece about it was the right move for you
Mhm.
and that everything was going to be okay for me.
Yeah.
And I knew at that point, like, I just got to support you and um, help you try to calm the fears because it's going to be scary and
Yeah.
miserable. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You
But
know how well I handle change. So if you
yeah,
could just imagine, like this is a big like a momentous time in my little routine creature of habit life. So I feel all topsy-turvy
yeah.
for sure.
So you definitely made your dent on the garage door industry forever. And I think there's going to be so many people who appreciate you and the impact you've had, including myself. And so just want to let you know publicly that you're freaking awesome. And I couldn't have done GDU without you. Um, I don't even know if I could have done like the whole virtual assistant thing before you went into operations
Yeah.
was, you know, it took us a couple months to get in a groove and for me to understand how to use you best. And then I think we kind of hit a little bit of a stride and I
Mhm.
can go in a dark hole sometimes because I'm so covered up and I felt like a lot of times you were a step or two ahead and that was always helpful. And so yeah, I mean I think the story here is hire great people, love them to death, treat them well, and then know that some things are just for a season
Mhm.
and that you gotta like I think the ultimate compliment for me is like what makes me feel really good is that you came in and you were an assistant and you got promoted to like operations of
Mhm.
GDU and now you're like going to run the operations for like a legit company. Not
Yeah.
that GDU is not like a legit company, but we kind of like just like bumped into that by accident, you know?
Yeah.
So, but that just tells me that you were on the right path. I was on the right path with you
Mhm.
and um, it's well deserved. And I just want you to know I appreciate everything you've contributed to Torsion Talk. Your mom's contributed to adding as a listener and top contributor on Facebook. Like, I
My
mean,
mom.
I and Bear, I mean,
Uh,
Bear's like we're gonna be watching Bear on television in a few years playing professional
maybe,
hockey.
man. Yeah.
And I mean, what better hockey name than Bear?
Yeah.
Right. It's like he was made for it. Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
are you what's going through your head? What's it like?
Um, so I mean, it's exciting. Right now I'm going through, I'm feeling a lot of pressure. You know that like I am, so in two ways, I feel a lot of pressure to make sure I take so much personal responsibility for GDU, and we've got kind of Jen who's on here with us, and she's going to be stepping into that role. And I'm sure she's going to do like a way better job already than what I was
So,
doing because she's just so on it. But it's hard for me to give up that control and, say goodbye to like I care about them so deeply. And then it's like I'm stepping into this new role and there's a lot of stuff that's going to need fixing, and I struggle with, am I going to be able to do this well enough? Am I now it's the buck stops here. From this point on, there's no hiding from, if something goes wrong, it's totally on me.
yeah.
So it's exciting and scary. But I'm having faith. That's how I kind of stepped out on this whole journey, is I really sat down and prayed about set my feet on the path that that you want me to walk down. And I really feel, when I think about the direction that I'm taking, like you said, I feel a sense of peace, like this is the right path. And even though it's not perfectly smooth path, I think it's the right one for me to be on. So I'm kind of leaning into that. It's going to work out fine. Like everything's going to be, I feel like we're all going to be better for it. All of this is happening for a reason.
Yeah. What have you learned from the garage door industry or through your journey here that you're going to be able to apply there?
Oh, so much. So, foundationally, having a strong foundation for the business, like it's, in order to scale and grow, there's some things that fundamentally you need to put into place. You need to have a good handle on your numbers. I don't even know if they have run a profit and loss statement. I don't know what their margins are. I don't know anything, or I don't even know if they know that. So getting a handle on the foundational aspects of what the company is going to be one thing that I'm going to be starting with. So I want to put into place really strong systems and processes, really strong accountability and checks and balances, so that there are multiple eyes on things, and everybody's got everybody has their responsibilities, but that's inspect what you expect, right? Yep. So that's going to kind of be the biggest part of my role, I think, starting off, is because there's 3 partners and they each have duties and responsibilities, but nobody really knows what's going to be getting done. So somebody has to be the accountability person. And I think my role in GDU has kind of really set me up well for that, in not
so
being
you're
shy
going from
about holding
babysitting
people
40
accountable.
something people to 3, basically.
Yeah. So yes. Yes.
I'm just kidding.
So, I mean, it's going to be a walk in the park for me, right? I might as
Yeah.
well just lay outside and tan and
Sounds great.
That's the life.
Somer USA and Somer Group want to thank you for an incredible year and the trust you put in them and their products. As you know, Somer places high value on relationships, education, customer service, innovation, and professionalism. And they are grateful to you for your part in the fostering and dissemination of these values. If there is any way Somer can support you in your journey, whether through their products, the values they hold to, or the knowledge Somer has gained through interaction with door dealers across the world, please reach out to the team at your convenience. They are here to serve you. Again, thank you from the entire Somer team. Check them out at somerusa.com. Tell them Ryan sent you.
What kind of business does your husband have? Because I don't think we've mentioned it.
So he owns it's a sign company. They do sandblasted signs, monument signs, vehicle wraps, real estate signs, all kinds of different stuff. My husband's a graphic designer, so he handles everything from mock-ups to production right now. Nice. Yeah, it's a good business. They've got more work than they know what to do with, so
that's a blessing.
Yeah, it really is. I know that we have the capacity to do more work there, so I'm looking forward to kind of increasing efficiency and growing it.
Good for you. Well, with that, I'll introduce Jen.
Yes.
Jen and I have known each other for a very long time. Well, I call it a long time. 2017 feels like a long time to me. I think it was 2017. Do you remember what year it was?
It may have even been before that, Ryan, because I think the first time we talked was actually before I was in sales at Belay at that time. So that was before 2017. I think we reconnected in 2017 when you were ready to hire a VA. Okay. And I had moved on from that point. Yeah.
Gotcha. And I still didn't hire anybody till 2019 for that role. Actually, I did hire a friend of mine who was a college student. That didn't turn out exactly as planned, but um,
It happens.
yeah, I think, not to get too far off a rabbit trail here, but a virtual assistant, I don't know how they get their first job, because like there's so many talented virtual assistants out there that are really good.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get your foot in on that? That's got to be hard, I would imagine. Um, so anyway, as mentioned, Jen was with Belay, which I feel stupid saying that name that way, but we'll just pretend we're from Europe for a minute. Belay, but it's spelt like belly a little bit, kind of.
Kind of. Yeah. Belay.
Forgive me. I'm a math guy, forgive me. And so what were you doing there? You started out as a virtual assistant, right?
No, I actually started out in sales there. So I
Okay.
worked as a business development rep and had the opportunity to talk to tons and tons of entrepreneurs. It was really actually a fun job because I got to hear all kinds of stories about what people were doing in their businesses, and how, I mean, there's that common thread. You all need help to grow and scale. And so I just, it was fun. It didn't feel like a job. It was more building relationships and helping people solve problems and making sure that Belay was a good fit for them as much as we were a good fit. So from there, I actually moved into a management position on the talent acquisition team. So there I was overseeing the whole process, the recruitment of the virtual assistants, and then matching them with the right client, and just overseeing that side of it. So it was
So
fun. I was there for several years.
how do you decide who to match you with?
Oh yeah, that
Is it personality profiles?
it's a lot. Yeah, it's personality, but it's also skill set.
Okay.
So, there's a lot of things that go into that, which is why they spend a lot of time interviewing the VAs, and it's a pretty lengthy process there, but also the clients as well. I mean, they go through kind of a rigorous process when they would come on board there to make sure. I mean, it's, as you know, a lot of working together with an assistant is personality, and
Yeah.
making sure that the two of you jive together. Because if somebody is good at what they do and resourceful, I mean, they can learn anything,
Yeah.
but it's making sure that it's a good fit.
Right. I've got a
Person.
big question for Tamara. When are you going to have your own virtual assistant?
No. Oh gosh, as soon as possible. I would love to have
Tamara,
a virtual
I
assistant.
had talked about for years, when she was my assistant, hiring an assistant for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that happen at Belay?
We're an
Where
assistant
like
gets
you're,
an assistant.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it does happen, because you figure a lot of they're contractors, so they need help too. As they're growing, if
yeah,
they're really good and they take on multiple clients, like, they might need help with some of the other things that they can easily delegate. So that does
right.
happen.
So let me give you a little background. So 2016, whatever, I don't remember when, but we ended up chatting. And then 2017, I kind of got to a point where I was like, I think I'm ready. Reached out to her. I think I still remember I was standing on the side of a co-working space that we were working out of, and wasn't our best moment. Like, we were really struggling. We were growing really fast, but we were just having growing pains. Cash flow was an issue, and we were understaffed. I felt like always, because we couldn't keep up. And so here we just came off a year, like our first year, which we did like 700,000 our first year. And then my goal for the next year was 1.5. So I was trying to scale it like a garage door company or like a software company, but quickly found out that doesn't work. So I think you quoted me $35 an hour.
Yeah, that
And
sounds
I
right.
remember being like, there's no way, unless they can work 5 hours a month, that I'm going to be able to afford this. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't that bad. But
Mm.
I just didn't like, I needed somebody who was going to be available like all the time.
Yeah.
Right. And to me, it felt like either available all the time or it's not going to work the way I think I wanted to. And then the success of it is a failure, in my opinion. So fast forward, I think 2019, I reached out to you again and I said, "Hey, what are you doing? Nothing, chilling." Well, I think it was like LinkedIn or whatever.
Yeah, it was LinkedIn.
And I said, "Where would you point me in the direction to hire a virtual assistant? I am 1000% ready. I have to do it." And she was like, "You need to connect with the folks over at We Recruit Well, which has been on the podcast before." So I got on the phone and called, and Beth and I hit it off really well. She's fantastic.
Yes.
And like she could be like a dating matchmaker. I think she would do very well at it.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
They're
they
good.
are amazing.
Those
Yeah.
two, that team is so dynamic and so good at what they do.
Mm.
I was impressed with the initial call. So I went ahead and did it. And that's how I got Tamara. And
Mhm.
without them, like they narrowed it down to 3 people, had me interview, and the other 2 people were absolutely phenomenal. Like one was an executive assistant for the CEO of a hotel chain. And I'm like, whoa, I'm getting to interview this person to be my assistant. Like that was crazy. And then the other person, forgot, but she had also had like a accounting background and all kinds of stuff. So the reason I chose Tamara was because she was personable and I felt like I trusted her. And although she was a hippie and made coke for a living, no, I'm just kidding. Um, she is a little bit of a hippie. You are a little bit. You
I
have
mean,
some hippie tendencies.
not politically.
No, not politically, but I'm just talking about like yeah, your
Disclaimer.
passion.
I was a soap maker. I like doing like
Yeah,
crafts
soap maker.
and
That's
stuff. Yeah.
crafts. That's
Yeah.
to me, I throw that like into the hippie category. Um, and so that was great, but I wanted, I didn't want to feel like, I'm not the most politically correct. I'm
Mhm.
not the most corporate-y person in the world. I don't play games with bureaucracy. Like, so I really didn't want a corporate person,
Mhm.
right? Wanted someone who had a little hippie in them.
Yeah.
And Tamara fit the mold really well. And not only that, like I felt like it was a slam dunk because we were planning a virtual door dealer conference and she told me on the call that she had experience doing virtual events on Zoom and her knowledge of Zoom was very helpful during that period of time as well. So little did she know she'd spend the rest of her life on Zoom while she was with me, but that wasn't originally the plan.
Uh,
So I reached out back to them when I promoted Tamara and they connected me with Faith, who's now my assistant. Incredible, by the way. And
mhm.
then I thought, well, if I need to replace Tamara because Tamara's put in her notice, like, where do you find an operations person for a mastermind?
Mhm.
And I was like racking my brain. And I don't know, like some of you guys feel like it's probably super obvious, but not all of us as fast as you. Like I'm a little slow sometimes. And it took me a second, but then I was like, I'm going to call Beth. So Beth was like, absolutely, we can find you someone. And so they posted the job. And then Jen reached out to Beth because they know each other. And Jen's the one that recommended me to Beth originally.
Mhm.
and said, "Hey, I just saw this job. I'm really interested." And I'm just speaking for you, so I'm telling the story. So if I get it wrong, just let me know. And then Beth was like, "Crazy that you're interested in this job. You're not going to believe who posted it. It was Ryan." And Jen was sold at that moment. Like she knew she wanted to be on board at that moment. So it was just a matter of connecting us. Uh, Stop with the giggles. And so, Jen and I had a couple calls just trying to make sure that both of us are on the same page about what it is. And I get really passionate about explaining. And so sometimes I think I'll ramble for like 30 minutes and she's just so quietly listened and assured me that she was paying attention. And and then we had a call where she had like a gazillion questions. I got to answer all those. And we, after many back and forths, like we were able to agree that like we felt like she was the best fit. Um, and so we brought Jen on, and she's going to be running GDU day to day and
Mhm.
helping the guys achieve 10x their investment, because that is what we're going for. And so that's a order, tall order, right? And it's got to be a little intimidating and
Yes.
probably frustrating for Tamara at the same time, like dealing with trying to meet the expectations that I throw out there. I'm like, all right, guys, this year we're gonna give 10x the value of your membership. And Tamara's like, great. Um, and but I'm dedicated to making that happen and whatever that looks like. So that's now Jen's opportunity to try to help me figure that out and deliver the most value possible. But um yeah, man, like it's kind of a weird thing. It's like your ex-girlfriend meeting your new girlfriend a little bit and then
She's gonna
introducing
do
them on a
fantastic.
podcast.
She's already let that's why I feel like I have this amount of peace. Like, no, I would normally
Yeah,
be pulling my hair out right now, but she's just like, she's got it. I don't even worry. Like,
good.
she's already doing things way, like she's very efficient. I mean, and not afraid to just jump in there,
Yeah,
So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be, I mean, I love them so much, and it says a lot that I am at peace with the way that it's going right now. Like, I feel like it's in good hands.
that's
So,
good.
Thank
And if you're part of GDU, I'm letting everyone know that we're going to invite Tamara to after hours so she can chill with us. We have
yeah.
a little after hours meeting every once in a while. Um, and then you always have an invite to the in-person events if you want to get away from the
Yeah.
daily grind of the sign business and come hang out with us crazy garage door folks. Um, but I'm excited about the future for everybody, and really wanted to do this podcast to just do it right. You have employees leave the wrong way, or don't cut it or whatever, and I just want you to know that you've done a phenomenal job, and I'm no way I'd be where I'm at. Like, I owe a good portion of my success to you. And we were partners in crime for quite a while, and you allowed me to get away with a lot of stuff that people probably wouldn't, just by coming up with crazy ideas and you trying to figure out how to make them happen. Um, and so I appreciate all that and your commitment to me and Aaron Overhead Doors and such and GDU members and everybody. So thank you.
You're welcome. It's my great honor.
Yeah, and the podcast will never be the same. I swear, I hope your mom still listens, because I feel like that's important.
She'd be
Um,
so tickled you said that. You don't even know.
yeah, she's a wonderful woman. Um, so, but yeah, maybe we'll bring you on and get some updates on how things are going on your end.
I would love it.
That'd be awesome too. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, I want to say real quick before we jump off, if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. We're at 100 something right now. We want to try to get to 500 subscribers. we've got some plans for our YouTube channel coming up in the near future, and we need your help to get there. So in order to do that, we need subscribers. And so if you guys enjoy the content and are on YouTube, which we know you are, it's the second biggest search engine in the world. So I know you're on there. Just go ahead and give us a subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. As I see those go up, I'll give you guys shout outs, whatever. Text me, message me, let me know you subscribed, and we'll give you a shout out on the podcast. Any last words, Tamara, that you would like to say to the garage door industry?
I know. No, I just want to thank everyone for being a part of this journey. And you've not seen the last of me. So
Ooh. She's starting a door company soon, y'all.
no. Oh, hell
I'm
no.
just kidding. If I find out you start a door company, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Oh,
I'm gonna cheer
God.
you on, girl. I won't be mad, but I'm gonna be like, what
I
the
would
heck?
never.
As long as
What a
she's in
full circle.
GDU.
Right.
No.
You gotta join GDU if you do that.
All right.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah,
was
like,
that'd be
hilarious.
Jen,
amazing.
you and I full circle, and then she goes and starts a door company and becomes a member.
Not like you just see applied to join GDU. Like,
Yeah.
Amazing.
Tamara,
like, hey, I don't think you're a good
Tomco Doors of Texas.
Should we let her in? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm gonna need you to screen this one, Jen. All right, guys. I know this was short and sweet. Thank you guys. Well, 40 minutes almost. Just kidding. Time flies when you're having fun.
It does. Yep.
Anyway, thank you so much, Tamara. You're a blessing. You're a blessing in my life. We'll always be friends. And if you ever need anything, hit me up.
Oh,
Jen, excited to have you. Can't wait to see where we take this. Only the beginning. We're still in baby stages. So I believe we can fly.
Yay.
That's one of my favorite songs. But I won't bore you with my wonderful voice, singing voice. So thank you guys so much. Subscribe, YouTube, hit me up. Let me know that you did it so I can give you a shout out. Have a wonderful day. Be blessed.